T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. I'm your boy, MJ. Welcome to Trap Talk with MJ. What is good? If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy a favor and yourself, especially if you're into reptiles. If you're new into the reptile hobby, been in the reptile hobby, still want to figure shit out in the reptile hobby, this is where you should be at. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast that I drop here. I drop minimal 3 podcasts a week. I try to do 4. Basically, I drop the most reptile podcasts there even are in the reptile industry for well over a year now. I am fucking smashing the game. So you're in the right area, okay? Welcome to the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Shout out to all my early birds in the building. I see you guys right now. I'm about to say what up to you guys in a minute. But I just want to say, first and foremost, this episode is brought to you by Alan over at Amazing Basins. Shout out to my boy Alan for sponsoring my channel for one thing, and then also sending me this sick ass shirt. He sent me a sick ass basin care package, Amazing Basin care package, where I got this sick ass Amazing Basin shirt. I got an Amazing Basin calendar. Boom. So I got a calendar right here full of fucking amazing basins. I like saying amazing if you guys didn't notice. And I got a sick ass poster, an Amazing Basin poster. Look how sick this shit is. Definitely going to, you got a little crinkled in the mail, but it's all good. I'm going to go ahead and get this framed up. I'm going to get it put up. But let me just tell you, one of the biggest perks when joining Alan, aka Amazing Basin's Patreon page. So guys, do me a favor, go to Instagram, go check, especially if you're into boreals, man. If you're into boreal snakes like me, and that's your jam, well, you don't want to sleep on my boy Alan. I'm telling you right now, head over to Instagram, go give him a follow. He also has ball python projects that he's not even telling people about yet, but he's telling me. And I gotta let you know right now, this motherfucker's coming with some ball python heat. Okay, so he's somebody you're gonna want to go follow. So go check him out, Alan. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Speaking of support, guys, I appreciate everybody who comes and fucks with this channel. If you're a recurring viewer, thank you so much. If you're a subscriber, I love that. Thank you so much. Notification bell and leaving comments. But if you out there want to support what I do, and if you want to tap in, get extra content more than what you see here, well, I have good news for you. Okay, go down to the link below. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family. If you join the Patreon family, you get tapped into all this exclusive content that I do not release to the public, like Sound Check Chronicle episodes, right? I fucking post Sound Check episodes that the public does not see, only for my Patreon members. So exclusive shit. On top of that, when you join the Patreon family, you get tapped into the Discord. The Discord has over 120 fucking trappers that are all there chopping it up. There's over 20 different channels, anywhere from selling snakes, buying snakes. Where can I find legit snakes, scammer alerts, all sorts of shit. We protect each other in this family. We don't fuck around. So if you want to tap in, if you feel like you're by yourself too, I got to tell you right now, this is serious. This isn't a sales pitch. But if you feel like you're like, damn, man, I got so much going on, but I don't got no one to share this with, I feel like I'm alone in this game. You're not alone. Go down to the Trap Talk Patreon family and join the family and tap in with all of us. I don't give a fuck if you quit after the first month. Just come fuck with some real people. Come see what we're all about. And I got to say, first and foremost, thank you so much to all my Patreon members. You guys are my heart. And yes, other than that, I also have other YouTube channels that you guys could go support. I'm big on posting vlogs every week, either if I'm traveling to somebody's private collection or if I'm, at home. I work with a lot of fucking different stuff, and I'm very passionate about a lot of stuff I work with. So head over to YouTube, go to the Snake Trap Sessions vlogs, click on the Snake Trap Sessions vlogs YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single vlog that I drop. You never know what facility I'm going to visit, and you never know what I'm going to drop period on that channel. So it's good that you subscribe to it. Thank you out there if you do subscribe to it. I just started it probably like less than 2 months ago, already over at 800 subscribers. So thank you so much. Appreciate that motivation. And yeah, okay. I just want to say also, track top clips. If you have barely got into this podcast, like if you just found this podcast probably within a year ago, I've had this podcast for going on almost 3 years. I've had so many awesome guests on the show. So if you want to get caught up on past clips, best thing you can do is go to the YouTube and go to Trap Talk Clips and check out any kind of past guests that I've had on the show. So thank you for supporting that. And I want to say shout to all my early birds. Who's here in the building right now? I want to say who the fuck's in the building. Damn, a lot of early birds. Let's see. Hold on. Before I get started, I want to know where my guest is at because my guest isn't even here. Where you at, bro? Just so you know, my guest should be right here chilling and he's not here. So you better hurry up, Jerome. I don't like tardiness. I don't fuck around. All right. Who's here in the building? Who do we have? Big Mike, 1776 Exotics. What is good, player? Trap Talk Patreon family member all day, every day. The homie Julio Fulio, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Thank you so much. By the way, I have heat coming to you this week. Be ready. It's going to be awesome. The homie Jake, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Thanks for tapping in. The homie Jason over at Silver Cash 86, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Big supporter. The homie Jacob, Letter Better Fetter. What is good, player? Trap Talk Management in the building. Salute you, sir. Thanks for tapping in. Homie House of Hiss, one of the newest Trap Talk Patreon members to tap in with us. Thank you so much for joining the family. Go check them out on Instagram. House of Hiss. I like that logo, by the way. It's pretty sick. Brian Bode, what is up, player? Thanks for tapping in. Spectro_7, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Brandon Hernandez, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day as well. Appreciate your support. Let me see if my buddy even said anything. I don't know where he's at. All right. Wise Guys, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. The homie Joe, what's up, Joe? Damn, tapping in from New York. Forget about it. What's up, Joe? Thanks for tapping in. Oh, actually, he's in South Florida now. Never mind. Take that back. He's also one of the newest Trap Talk Patreon members as well to join the family. So we're looking at a new Trap Talk family member in the building. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon family. Heathen Hatchery, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Jerome, hurry up, bro. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry about that. All right, Hissy Fitz, what is up, player? Hissy Fitz, how's your face doing? This fool took a gnarly-ass bite to the face from a fucking ball python. I couldn't believe it. I was like, a ball python did that to you? Anyways, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Thank you for your support, player. Go check him out on Instagram. The homie Dennis over at the Serpent Smiths. What is good, Dennis? Thanks for tapping in, Dennis. We just had an amazing dim sum brunch yesterday. God, that shit was bomb, bro. I want more. And your wife was right. I was fucking hungry literally 20 minutes after we left that spot. There has to be a system to eating dim sum. And I'm talking about eating dim sum where we go eat dim sum. It's like the real deal Holyfield place to eat dim sum. It's like no joke. They just keep coming. And I feel like I'm a rookie. I need training, bro. I felt like I tap out too early at those places and I don't get the full experience. You guys know what you're doing. I see how you guys order. You guys order a lot. So respect to you on that. Anyways, please go give my boy Dennis a follow. He's a big supporter of mine, but he's also just fucking super player. Champion at Kung Fu. Will fucking really break some bricks. You feel me? Dennis, thank you so much for your support. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Let's see. The homie Nathan. What is up, Nathan? Got a new logo going on, I see. Sick. Nate Dogg is also a Trap Talk Patreon member. Thank you so much for being a part of the Patreon family. He's like one of the OGs. The homie Eric Moore Factory. What is good? Eric Moore Factory in the building. Let's see. Rainy Day Reptiles. What is good? We got Canada in the building. Rainy Day. You're from Canada, right? Am I correct? All right, cool. I thought so. You aren't backstage. This fool. Go to the most current link. Hold on. This fool is lost right now. I knew it. Give me 1 second. I knew there was something up right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Technical difficulties. All right, Jerome, exit out. Wherever you're at right now, Jerome, exit out. Go to your email. Go to your most recent email. Sorry, guys. This is how we do things. We figured it out. Fuck. Ball python, guys. I swear to God. I don't have to deal with this shit with venomous guys right here ready to rock. Fucking green tree python guys right here ready to rock. Ball python guys, they just can't figure it out. What the fuck? Jesus. I'm just kidding. Shane Henderson. Henry and the Hendersons. Did you guys ever watch that movie, Henry and the Hendersons? That was a fucking good movie. Yeah, I'm buying time. So what? But still, Henry and the Hendersons was a good movie. Very sad, you know, in the beginning, how they just run them over. But thanks for being here. I appreciate it. D's, Balls, and Exotics. What is good, player? Thanks for being here. Let's see. Who else is here? Clowns, Scientists. What is good? Thanks for being here. Jerome, look, at least, hey, Jerome's in the live chat. That's awesome. Hey, buddy, you know you have a fucking, you're supposed to be on this podcast right now. You understand that, right? Just so we're clear. I think he like doesn't know that he's on the show. He's like starstruck and he's like, I'm just gonna go to the live chats. No, guy, you're on the show. Let's go, bro. Oh my God. Hold on one second. This guy. You guys got to love it. I'm literally trying to take care of this. Here we go, Jerome. Here's the link again. Please refresh your screen. Fuck, man. Oh, my Lanza. God. This is, I wonder if I should qualify people for the show. Like, how are you with technology? Like, do you know how to refresh your email? That sort of thing. We'll get into it. Hey, listen, Barbara J in the building. What is up, Barbara J? Thank you so much. Thanks for, I haven't talked to you in a minute, man. I hope you're doing good. All right. Should we end it with Barbara J? I think we're going to end it with Barbara J because it's fucking game time. I hope you guys are ready for a good night because I got to tell you, finally, the homie's tapped in. He's right here. But we're going to have an awesome new Breed on the Block series because overdue for one thing. I don't feel like Jerome's too much of a new breeder, even though he hasn't been in this for years. He's been around. You know, yeah, he came not recommended, but I only know Jerome thoroughly through Cusco. And then I found out that Jerome was homies with all the other, I guess, Inland Empire homies, or like, you know, High Desert Python's homie Antoine, and then there's Andrew, and there's Jacob, all the desert people. He's homies with a lot of fucking sick people in this game. So it's going to go down. I hope you guys are ready. New Breed on the Block series. Tonight we have the big dog himself. Better late than never, but he's a big dog. He could be late all he wants. Who gives a shit? Jerome! No Limit Reptiles! Let's go!
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasters?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it.
If it's one thing I respect the shit about you, Jerome, is the fact that there's a Pocket Kings in that fucking logo. Because a lot of motherfuckers that don't know poker would probably put like Pocket Aces, but no, I much rather have Pocket Kings all day, every day, if you know how to fucking play that shit. I just had to say props on that. I just noticed that right now. So Jerome, what's up, player? How you living?
What is good? What is good?
What's up with your sound? Why does that shit sound funky? Hold on.
Is it all off?
Hold on. Let me see. Let me give it a second. Yeah. It didn't sound like that when we were at sound check.
No. Hold on.
You're good. Take your time. We'll get it right. Uh-oh. Oh, you had your AirPods in. Yeah, kill your AirPods. Those don't work. Those always fuck it up for some reason, bro. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jerome, no
We're good
limit
now.
in the building. How you doing, player? Thanks for being here.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Long overdue. I've had Andrew. I've had a lot of the homies on, but I've always, you've been somebody that's like, I don't know why I haven't had you on, but I'm glad I'm having you on because we have such a big show ahead of us this week. This very first Reptile Super Show in Vegas. You're going with such a fucking MVP crew. So I thought this is going to be the perfect time to bring Jerome to the fucking table because, dude, I'm excited. I'm going to be there. I'm happy to see you guys, all the homies there vending with your heat. It's awesome, man. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting having the five of us all doing together. I don't think too many other people have anything like it. So you'll be able to come through, hit up 5 different people's projects, snakes, just be able to talk to people. You're not going to be able to walk up and just because there's somebody talking to one person, everybody else is going to be available to talk to and whatnot also.
So Jerome, you come off as so humble, man. I've known you for, like I said, a while, like at least 2 years. And I say a while because I've only been in this game for like going on 5 years. So half the time I've been in this game, I've known who you are. And I found out who you were through Cusco. And, who doesn't love Cusco, right? Except the people who hate Jesus. Dude, by the way, can you guys chill? Like, listen, it's okay to believe in something, okay? I'm not somebody here to be like, hey, believe in Jesus, but so many people got mad at Cusco because he he fucking expressed what has been happening in his life. I knew he was going to talk about God. Like, I fucking knew it. And it's okay. Let him fucking do his thing. But yet so many people like, oh, like, who are you to take over with this type of topic? Like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. I love Cusco.
He's a Christian. That's who he is, Dude,
and I love him. Dude, I love him for what's happening to him and good for him, dude. And but anyways, Cusco, who even before his change over to Christ, I've always respected the guy. I don't, it's funny too, bro, because some people find Jesus when they're really fucked up, like they're either just on their rock bottom, they're stealing from friends, or just really bad. Cusco was the hippie of the hobby, like the best guy around. So yep. I don't think it was like, oh, because his life was so bad. No, it's just I feel like he's in a different place, which a lot of people don't understand. I don't understand it. I'm happy for him. So I just want to say, leave Cusco alone. That's my boy. If he wants to talk about God, let him talk about fucking God. That's my boy. God is good, by the way. I believe in God, so fuck you if you don't like it. But also, forget it. Let's move forward now because I don't want to piss anyone else off again. But okay, so Jerome, going back to how I heard about you through Cusco giving you props. I started tapping into your projects, and it seems like you've been around for a minute. And I don't want to say on the breeding end of things, but you've been fucking with animals, collecting reptiles. I don't know if it's ball pythons, but let's talk about the history of your upbringing with these animals, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm like most people. I've had a Petco, PetSmart, basic ball python for 15, 20 years. I've always had one, at least one. A few years ago, after just having a few and then kind of seeing some of the different colors and patterns and whatnot, I started reaching out on Facebook groups, and I found the Fresno Facebook group. And Fresno's like 40 minutes south of me. So it's close enough, where I could be able to talk to the people and maybe go hang out or whatever. And I ended up running into Jimmy Cruz. I ended up running into Jimmy Cruz.
Hey, real quick, Jerome, I just want to say Fresno's the biggest city next to you, right? Like that's going to be like the most popular city.
Pretty much Fresno, and then Modesto is like 30 minutes north of me.
Okay, continue.
And then if anybody knows Freedom Breeder, they're 15 minutes from me north.
Oh, so you're not far from Freedom Breeder.
No.
Damn, so you're up there. You're really up there.
Yeah. I'm right in the middle of California. Like,
you remember when I drove to Cusco's and I did that live at his house with him and me, and we had Levance on the show?
Yeah.
So my whole plan behind that was to go up to Freedom Breeder. So I drove 6 hours to Cusco's, and Cusco's like, yeah, Freedom Breeder's another 3 hours. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, and we're gonna leave tomorrow. And then he's like, we're gonna leave tomorrow, and then I was supposed to leave the next day back home. So I'm like, bro, that's like 24 hours of driving. I was like, what the fuck? And like, I'm not even gonna lie, after the episode, something happened with Jesse and he had to cancel. So we didn't end up going the next day, and I wasn't even mad. I was like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Bro. Like,
I wouldn't be mad about that either.
But I wanted to really go though. Like, Freedom Breeder is a place I've been dying to go to, like for sure.
Yeah. So, so I met Jimmy, Jimmy Cruz. If you guys don't know, Ball Life. He's huge on the West Coast, big ball python. Great breeder, great guy. Just personally, I'm glad we got to become friends. But I bought a couple snakes off him, and then I bought a GHI pastel hypo off male, of course, male.
When was this? How long ago was this, if you don't mind me asking?
This is 3 years ago.
Okay, not too long ago.
So I bought it off him, and then that's when I got really interested, and I was like, I want to make these. I want to figure out how to make these, and how can I do this, and seeing all the different patterns and styles and everything that there was. So I that's what started it, was that GHI hypo pastel male that I got from Jimmy. So from there, I was like, I just want to start doing it.
Jimmy Cruz, what a guy.
Great guy.
Listen, I openly admit how there's people I fuck with really tough right now, but at first I didn't like them, right? And for sure, Jimmy was not one of those, but Brian Cusco was. I always say how, like, and I was only because I was jealous of Brian. Like, I was like, who's this guy with his fucking drones and his cameras? Like, he's so goddamn crafty and like ahead of the game. And it made me like just feel it just made me feel like dumb. But that was my own problem, right? But then I started noticing, because how much I was like hating on Cusco, who his friends were, right? Jimmy Cruz. And I was like, dude, that guy right there, like, I'm not saying I could read someone through a fucking picture, but dude, I've been through some shit. Jerome, I'm sure you've been through some shit. There's just some people you can look at and you're like, holy fucking shit, that guy has been through some shit. And dude, I can never stop thinking about that when meeting Jimmy. And I remember meeting Jimmy dude, the thing about Jimmy, if it's a SoCal show, if it's a California show, he's there. This motherfucker, he's there. And I've seen him at San Diego Reptile Super Shows, seen him at Pomona's, seen him in Anaheim. And I'm talking about like me even doing any of this shit, I would see him at the shows. And coolest fucking guy ever, dude. If you put, like, Jimmy will never put himself out there to you, but if you do it to him, he's cool as fuck. Now, most down to earth guy on earth, dude. I love Jimmy, bro. And once you become homies with them and you start becoming a regular at the shows, then it's really fun. You know what I'm saying? Because
exactly.
Jimmy knows how to have a good time, bro. Like, bro, if you want to, I tripped out because I didn't really know too much of Jimmy. And when I had Jimmy on the show, when I was first doing like Saturday shows at like 9 a.m., I had him on early at 9 a.m. and he popped open a Corona bottle. And I was like, cool. I was like, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, he's like, I barely got slept last night. And I was like, I just want to keep it going. I'm like,
yeah. So he was from then. He was driving from Fresno to Turlock. So he was like an hour and 20 minutes each way every day to work, because he was working at Freedom Breeder. Yeah. And so Friday nights, as soon as he got home, it was, let's have a good time. And then, like you said, roll into Saturdays and keep it going.
And he fucking stuck that goddamn podcast like a stuck pig, bro. Like he handled it. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Jerome, I gotta say that's how I gained a lot of my respect for you, because these are your friends. You are who you hang around with. I got some people out there that don't understand that, bro. Like, you have a lot of young people that are up and coming. They have thousands and thousands of Instagram followers and TikTok followers, and they want respect from people who don't care about that shit, right? But then on the other end, they're hanging out with Jay and all these fucking influencers that like show who you are. Like, you got to make up your mind. Like, what are you doing in this game? Like, and you really got to stick to your fucking guns, right? So I really judge people off who they hang around with, bro. That's just what I do. I don't care. Like, and that's just how it rolls. And I've never been, ever since I've done that, I've never been wrong. Like, I've never been like fucked. Like, I always just stick to my guns, and I and that's how it is. So I wanted to shout that out right off the bat. Can you hear me?
For sure. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to turn my thermostat off real quick.
I was like, I hear a thermostat. I kind of know what that is. Been there before, and it always happens at the worst time.
It's always right on a live or on a podcast. It was like a half a degree off, and so it started beeping.
Okay, this is going to be kind of like, I know we haven't really got into things yet, so forgive me on this being random, but I'm very new to the Herpstat game. And what I mean by that, obviously I have this new room that's full, or this room full with cages, so I got individual Herpstats for everything, right? But then I noticed that some say that the probe isn't plugged in, and I'm like, and it makes that beeping noise. It says invalid something. I'm like, what is it? And literally, like, it's the fucking cord. I don't understand why it's the cord, but you have to find the way the cord needs to be for that fucking thing to stop. And bro,
you do.
These are brand new, and
Brand new.
I'm like, why are they fucking doing this? And I'm such an OCD guy to where I cannot walk out of my room with that noise going off. Like, and first off, it's not working. If that noise is going off, it's not working. So you have to figure it out. And obviously, I want my thermostats positioned all the same, but no, I can't. One has to be on the floor. One has to be up tall. Bro, it's fucking aggravating. And I don't know why nobody has talked about this yet. I want to talk to Herpstat and be like, why is this? I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4 different Herpstats that do this, bro. Brand new Herpstat 3s, okay? And I don't know why they do that.
It's I don't know. I have one that does it. I have a lot of Freedom Breeder thermostats, and they do it too. Same thing, right? When you plug it in, if it's not either twisted right or it's not sitting directly in at the perfect angle, it'll set it off. So
yeah, and literally, because I was even bending it. I was like, what the fuck? And literally, like, some just need to be extended. And I have one that I'm looking at that's on a goddamn step stool that's extended all the way from and it's like, I don't know, bro. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest because I didn't,
I think, like you said, a lot of people know about it, just nobody talks about it.
Well, they should, because that shit's expensive. Like, goddamn, I'm spending money on this shit. It should work legitimately. Like, so
they should fix the inputs.
Yeah, I don't know. God bless. All right, Jerome, come on. I want to talk about how things got started, obviously, because, as you were saying, Reptile's been a part of your life, but business side of things, what was the influence behind you wanting to become No Limit Royals?
So like I said, that one snake from Jimmy made me want to start breeding and start doing it. At that same time in my life, I stopped drinking. So I was using the hours that I would spend in the bar and the money I would spend in the bar on the snakes. So it became from a hobby, from having, 3-4 snakes to having 40 snakes in like 3 months, so it went real quick. So then at that point you realize if you're going to do that, you have to make money on it. So I decided it was going to become a business, not just a hobby.
And what was your life at that point? Like, what were you doing? Were you a 9 to 5? Do you have family? Like, let's talk about your personal life.
Not married. No kids, not married. Single. I was bartending still. So I bartended for 24 years.
Wow. So you can make me drink.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, but my life had just changed a little weird things with some friends and an incident that happened and part of what caused me to stop drinking.
Wow. Okay.
So I ended up kind of losing a lot of friends, and just life was different, and then you're not out at the bar. You realize how many people weren't your friends. They were just your drinking buddies. So just getting into this and getting into being passionate about something that was productive. I thought it was a great idea. So
I think one of the toughest things I had to and I feel like I just was able to deal with this year. I think the last 4 years has been really hard for me because, like you said, like I had party friends, bro. And these party friends were like, they were family to me, my brothers, and life changes. So when it takes you a different direction and these brothers are still doing the same thing and you're not, it's so hard to pick up where you guys had something, and dude, I almost get emotional because my best man, like the guy who was my best man in my wedding, still love him to death. He's the reason why I wanted to change. Like there'd be nights where we'd be on 2-3 fucking Vengers. It's on a sick one, and we'd be on the balcony and you know, I hear how he talks to other friends on like, yeah, let's get more fucked up. But with me, he'd always tell me how I was meant for better things. Like he would like, for whatever reason, he'd always tell me like, MJ, I think there's something else out there for you, you know, like you have like this passion with you. And I never understood what he meant, but it made me realize whatever was going on there, I'm not meant for that. And that's why I said, that's why I don't even, you know, like that conversation with him led to me discovering how I loved snakes and I wanted to be around ball pythons again. And dude, it's just crazy how things sense. And, you know, I always wish all my friends the best, you know, but it's crazy how life could change so drastically with not only yourself, but who you used to associate yourself with. It could just, it's kind of surreal, man. Like I have dreams. I don't know about you, man, but I still dream of stuff back in the day. Like I'll have dreams of even me partying with friends like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll still have dreams about going out to the bar and stuff. I haven't been out to a bar and I can't tell you how long, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And you know, it kind of fucks with you because you kind of feel like, well, is that a sign to go back to it? And it's not. Like it's really not. Like
I'll tell you, every day I'm like, I should just pop open the Jameson and you know and just have a couple, and that never stops at a couple, and that was always the problem. I was a bottle a night of Jameson every day.
Fuck, bro. And honestly, like you want to talk about alcoholism, like, you know, I'm a weed head, bro. Like if it's one thing I feel like I'm trying to control now. Me and my wife talk about it right now because, you know, we want to have kids, and she's like, I don't want fucking high sperm. And I'm like, okay. I was like, she's like, so you need to figure out like when to smoke, what time to smoke. Because honestly, bro, I'm like Bone Thugs and Harmony over here, bro. I smoke 24/7. Because I do better when I'm high. But at the end of the day, like, you know, statistically wanting to make a child and make my wife happier, I need to chill out. Like I don't need to be so dependent on it, right? And I don't need to smoke as much. It's just fun. Like it's just like,
there's nothing wrong with it, you know.
Right. But there, you know, balance is everything, right? So it doesn't hurt to have balance. And but I could tell you, man, when it comes to not being able to put a bottle down, bro, like, man, I mean, meth is bad too. Don't get me wrong, but like, fuck, dude, alcohol, man, like that's a brutal one right there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and for years, it's been the worst. It's and to this day, it's still the worst, and only because the government owns so much of it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I always said, if I could make as much like serving weed to customers, I'd rather do that than serving alcohol to customers. You're not going to have a couple stone dudes fighting over a brownie and shit, you know? So, you know, it's just so much crap that comes with the alcohol, you know? And that's part of what happened with me stopping drinking. So there was a couple of drunk buddies messing around. One was talking shit to the other. The other guy hit him. He fell, hit the ground, was out. We took him to the hospital. They gave him a CAT scan.
died.
No, he didn't. Luckily, they air flew him to the next local hospital, and who had a trauma center, and they came within. It was literally one drop of fluid in the brain, and that's what saved him. Okay, literally one little drop.
Check this out, bro. Insane. My brothers I was talking about, one of them, his name's Negretti. Shout out to Negretti. He was also at my wedding. My boy Matt. His nickname, or when we're fucked up, we call him Olger because how big he is. He's a big motherfucker, okay? You just don't fuck with big Olgers, right? And our other buddy Bo, one night, or I should say one morning, fucked up, right? They're fucking horse playing, fucking around, and they were taking body shots. Like they're like, you know, going body shot. And I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. So Negretti got him right in the fucking gut, like, right? And he was like, oh, like, you know, like kind of shaking it off. Well, he ended up rupturing his fucking intestine, bro. Like he ended up like causing internal bleeding to where he almost, like, literally almost died. This guy was in the hospital for like a month, bro. Like, and like, god damn, bro. Like, I'm just like, Negretti is one of the guys who still parties his ass off. So obviously he didn't learn his lesson, but like he felt really bad, and like nobody could even joke about that for a while. But oh man, I'm just like, Jerome, aren't you happy to be here? like there's
100%.
So many things.
You know,
go ahead.
You think about, you know, okay, you know, running back a little bit before that, I got a DUI, partying my ass off down in Pismo Beach. Got a new tattoo. Buddy of mine was a tattoo artist down there. Party my ass off. I actually stopped in the middle of the street where there was no stop sign and waved the cop by because he was coming from a side street. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to wave him by. And then he follows me. Of course, I get a DUI. Buddy, a couple months later, I get him home safely. He decides to jump in his car, take off. He gets a DUI, falls asleep, goes to the side of the road, hits a tree, gets a DUI, and just so much bad stuff was just continuously happening. And this happened on the 4th of July, this incident that happened. And since that day, I was like, that's it. Like, there's been too much and I'm just done. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm thankful every day. I wake up, you want to talk about, Christ and all that. I've always been a believer. I haven't always been a follower, but I've always been a believer. But I wake up every day and, and thank them for letting me still be here. So,
and this is going back to, like, I think life is all about believing in something, man. Like, and like, it doesn't have to be God for sure, but there has to be something that drives you. Like, and, if you're somebody who just thinks like, oh, there's nothing and all that, and then those are the people I feel sorry for, because there is something that brought us here. You see what I'm saying? So I believe, like, shout out to my boy Socrates, but he's like very huge on tapping into the subconscious mind and energy into the universe. And like, as funky and weird as that sounds, I think there's some truth behind it. And
there's a lot to it. Yeah.
I'm not here to fucking back his theory up or be like, hey guys, put the energy in the universe. No, I'm just telling you, like, believe in something, dude. Like, have hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there's a lot to putting out the positive, and that self-talk, definitely don't, badmouth yourself, even in joking or playing or kidding.
Nope.
It's always putting the positive vibe out. And that's what one thing you want to talk, one great thing about Cusco, that's what Cusco does amazingly well, is putting that positive vibe out, and that's what drew me to him in the get-go. So
I love Cusco because he's like, one thing I don't do is give people the benefit of the doubt just because of my history with people. But Cusco, if he fucks with you, will always give you the benefit of the doubt, and he will stick his neck out for you. He'll back you up. And that's why I love Cusco. And honestly, he's such a pioneer in this, man. Like, think about it. Like, he really is. Like, the shit I'm doing now, like, you gotta understand, with the people who are as relevant as they are, like, and how I'm connected to them, that was Cusco and still is Cusco. But Cusco was tapped in to the most important people that wouldn't talk to nobody in this industry. Bring them to the platform, talking like, man, I mean, I will always be a Cusco fan. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I could never do anything to piss. Like, well, I could take that wrong. He's definitely pissed me off before, but never do anything for me to be like, go. Won't talk to you no more, because he's just like, he's good-hearted individual. I love his wife. I love his family. Just overall good people. Can I shout out? This is a funny super chat. Can I shout out real quick, Jerome? Do you mind?
For sure.
Do you know Troy Schroeder?
A little bit, just a little bit.
He's always best dressed at these reptile shows. I swear to God.
I hear that rumor.
So check this out. Jerome, let's say God comes down and says, you can save the world from blowing up. But you have to push either Antoine, high desert pythons, or Andrew, redwood reptiles, off a cliff. Who's getting shoved off a cliff? I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll let you do it.
I really don't want to go against either one. But I would say Andrew, just because of the training. Antoine has the training. He has the ability. Would it be fun? When I was younger, it'd be fun. When I wasn't, injured, it'd be fun to try to, take on Antoine. But in real life, I would say it'd probably be Andrew.
Can I tell you what I would have said? I would have said Andrew, because I don't want to be racist. Oh my God. Okay. I want to talk about, as far as the volume you're currently at, because we're in your second or third year breeding right now, Jerome?
That's my third year right now.
Okay. What's looking to be on the docket as far as number of clutches for this year, if everything goes right?
Yeah, I'm still shooting for 50. I'm stalled out at 20. I'm stalled out at 28 right now. I have 2 more that I know have eggs. So that'll be 30. So I'm hoping for 20 more just in my facility. Now I've did a breeder loan with a couple of close friends this year, so that could be 9 more clutches that aren't in my facility.
Man, now how are you handling? Okay, well, first off, if anyone's out there thinking, what did he have his first year? Did you have any clutches your first year?
16.
So, and you've
I
never
bought collections when I first started.
Okay, tell me more.
Now, was it the smartest thing? Probably not, but it was people's stuff they were getting rid of. A lot of people up in the Bay Area, San Francisco area, were dumping collections, and I bought a few of those. So I had breeder girls from the get-go.
Let's kind of get right to the point about this. Anything you regret about that? Like, is there anything that you did buying someone else's old stock that you're like, fuck, why'd I do this? Like anything?
Some on the hets, like you believe them, you know, the het clown, het ghost, het pied, het whatever, and just not proven out, you know, and you bought them with that extra price in it, you know, and then it bums you out, and it teaches you only buy hets from people you trust. I mean, after year 1, you learn that real quick. At least I did. So I quit buying hets from people. If it was in a collection and they said it was a het, I didn't take it to heart. But I also quit buying collections after year 1 too. So
I think the number one story I hear of people fucking each other over from back in the day are selling fake hets, bro.
Oh yeah.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And I'm talking.
Yeah, you listen to Antoine's stories of some of the old school people. You know, he's been in it a lot longer, and just some of the crazy stuff, like they were cutting off hemipines and just the BS heads and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy. But yeah, no, it definitely that was like the big thing. And I did the same thing as everybody else. I bought way too many males. Just they're cheaper and they look good, and you're like, oh hey, that's a great deal. And then you realize, oh, what am I going to do with it? You know. So
how much money did you have ready to rock going into this? I mean, you're saying you're buying people's collections, so that had to be expensive.
They were. I mean, they weren't like huge. They were a lot of single gene, double gene codom girls. I mean, so they weren't thousands each. But bartending, you make pretty good money. You know, so as I saved up, I would buy a collection and find one and do it. Like I said, single, no kids. My rent's extremely cheap. So I'm lucky. So I'm able to do it.
Hell yeah. But with that even said, you know, equipment, all that shit still adds up. So what did you buy right off the bat? Did you buy people's freedom breeder racks and shit like that too? Or did you buy all that brand new?
It was all, luckily in the group, there was people selling, you know, PVC racks. Like I still have the black PVC racks right here. Buddy of mine, James, sold 3. He had a 3 12-stack FB40, you know, racks. I built some hatchling racks myself, and just went that way. And then I got lucky, and there was people getting out locally, and I was able to buy some Freedom Breeder racks on a good deal. And we actually won a couple Freedom Breeder racks, so
nice.
It was nice. Yeah.
Are you a big DIY person, like do it yourself kind of guy? Like, are you able to build shit? Are you crafty?
I can. I actually came up with my hatchling racks. Me and my partner were driving to Fresno, and I just kind of did it off the top of my head, pulled up the dimensions of the tubs and realized, you know, you need this much room and this much between each rack. And I kind of drew it out on a paper as I was driving down to Fresno. And it's hard to find PVC in California. There's only a certain spot, couple spots that sell it.
And when you do, you're getting taxed, bro. Like PVC is not only the most sought after piece of wood, it's the most expensive right now too.
Yeah. So yeah, I found a spot in San Jose, and they actually cut it for me too. So I sent in what I wanted, and they cut it. So I just went and picked it up, and then, you know, just did it the way you see people doing, like the wood racks, where you set, you know, you screw the top part one down, you put your tubs in there, set the next shelf down, and then screw it in, and then do the next shelf and screw it in. So I used other people's techniques, but I just used it with PVC instead of like wood and other things.
Using people's techniques, I feel like that's a huge piece of your your progress in this is finding the right mentor, right? Like finding the right person to follow. Who was one of the first people that kind of put you on, like, and somebody who really fucking looked out for you? Like, I'm talking about all the way from the right snake to buy to helping you with the clutch and all that shit.
There's a few. Jimmy Cruz, definitely number one.
Jimmy, where's Jimmy? We should have brought Jimmy on tonight. That would have been sick. That would have been a party.
James Galbraith, he's from Reptile Gyms. He's moving into retics more so than he is doing.
God bless.
Yeah,
he's going from ball pythons to he's going from ball pythons to retics.
Yeah, he had retics, and then he went to ball pythons, and then now he's going back to retics. He's still doing balls too, so he's doing both. But he helps me out a lot. And then actually just reaching out to people and talking to them. I'd say Troy, just somebody who I hadn't met in person yet. Troy from Best Dressed and Josh from Ball Python Shed. Both of those guys really, and I don't know why, but they just both really answered my questions. I had a bunch, and they took the time and took the effort to help me out when I asked. And then I got into a couple cool group chats. But then moving forward, Antoine and Andrew, those two guys, I mean, they're like my brothers. So anytime, that's my first question. I go to them now, if anything. So,
man, I was stubborn for a while because I always thought Miguel was my only fucking real California breeder friend I had, just because the way he put me on, the way he used to answer my phone calls, the way he, you know what I mean? Like, I always thought I just had Miguel. But the way I met Antoine, bro, like, I met Antoine through one of my best friends from Little League. And let me just tell you who this best friend was. This best friend wasn't even my friend in Little League. He was the number one fucking baseball player on the field. He used to strike out everyone. I was terrified of this guy. I wanted to be his friend, but we weren't friends back then. It took me till I left and then graduated high school, come back, and then we met again in TJ, Tijuana, like we were finally 18 partying or 19. And then we remembered each other. And then I became like best friends with that guy. His name's Lawrence, right? And Lawrence is really he's heavy into jiu-jitsu. Like, my boys, he's about to be a black belt this year. God bless him. I'm so happy for him. But he knows Antoine because of the jiu-jitsu family. Yeah. And so he told me, he's like, hey, there's a guy who knows you. I think he wants to link up with you. Come down to the gym and I'm like, come check us, come see us roll. Mind you, I wasn't in jiu-jitsu then. I didn't want nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. I was like, whatever, if I'll come see you guys fucking some grown men rolling each other, whatever, and I met Antoine. Fucking on. When you meet Antoine, it's like you don't stop laughing. He's always busting jokes. He's just fucking like, oh, did you hear about this? And like, he just knows everything. He's just fucking man. And then he fucking is a gunsmith. Like, he knows how to build guns. He could choke you out any way he wants. Like, and then I was like, dude, this guy is so fucking sick. And and then it turned, and then honestly, Antoine led to, obviously, oh, you're homies with Jerome, oh, you're homies with Andrew, all these fucking sick ass SoCal motherfucking breeders, and NorCal, I would say, all through California. But that's what, Antoine, like you said, he's been around. He was in this shit 10 years ago. A lot of people don't grasp that. They think he's a newbie. But no, he saw how shit was. And, bro, people got fucked over left and right back in the day. Yeah, that was like a rite of passage. Like, you had to get fucked over and just take it and not say shit. And if you said shit, you got, blackmailed for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's funny. I met Antoine. I seen a post and he was talking about who is up in Sacramento, like breeder wise. So I started naming off some of the guys up there, and I was like, well, it depends. I go, where are you coming from? And he told me, and I was like, well, it depends on if you come up to 5 or the 99. I said, if you come up to 99, you got, Jimmy and whoever the other guys I named in Fresno and whatnot. And he just kind of randomly hit me up and he's like, well, what about you? Like, you're telling all these other people, but how about I just swing by your joint, And I was like, oh yeah, we'll see what's going on. And I was catering. I had an event. And so he was like, hey, I'll come by. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm busy, maybe next time or on your way back. Well, I didn't know he was hitting sack, turn around, coming right back. So I was busy. And then he does 559 fights. So he's up in the Fresno area a lot. And so he hit me up and he's like, hey, I'm going to be up here. I'm going to roll up to your house. Like, just be there this day, basically. And I was like, okay, cool. And he rolled up and And he gets out with his gear, and then basically filmed on his camera the whole time. So it was funny. He brought all this camera gear and then just used his phone the whole time. But I was just laughing. But he was checking it out, and he's like, "Dude, why aren't you on YouTube? Why aren't you doing this? Like, your collection's sick." And for me, I'm just like, I don't have, the 6 multi-recessive, the super hets, any of that. So I was just kind of always like, it's okay. But he was like, you need to be on YouTube. You need to start doing this. And then that's just kind of how we clicked. I mean, and we clicked from the get-go. So it was cool.
I mean, okay, so where are you right now with your YouTube game? Do you have a YouTube and shit now or no?
I don't even have a YouTube. I haven't had time. I work a 9 to 5. I own a catering company. I do the snakes. So I'm busy. I pick up shift serving at a local restaurant. I'm just always hustling. So YouTube just it isn't necessarily my top priority. I know I should probably get into it and do it. Definitely for the exposure and that sort of thing. So it's on my list of to-dos. I just haven't done it yet.
Well, here's the thing, man. I mean, I understand a lot of people out there could be like, well, okay, like let's just say let's say you had time to do YouTube, but you were still like, I don't have enough stuff, or I don't have triple quad stuff. Bro, there's people out there that don't know about any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why I'm so adamant about who gives a fuck what you have, just post reptile content, it's because it's going to get non-reptile people to see it more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the future, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, man, these kids become teenagers really fast. And guess what? Teenagers have money. Calvin Garcia, before Little Frijole was 18 years old, he had spent like $3,000 with me, bro, of his fucking lawnmower money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why we need to we need to stop caring about what's happening with the current creators. Let's be the next best creator. And like Jerome, obviously, dude, catering business, you're busy. I understand your situation, but there's people out there who have time to do YouTube, but they refuse to do it because they feel like not worthy enough. And dude, once you get into YouTube, you start paying attention to YouTube. And what I mean by that, I'm fucking finding YouTube accounts with over 1 million subscribers showing the stupidest fucking thing. Like, I'm talking about like, hey guys, we're going to talk about the book I just read. And I'm like, holy shit. They have fucking 100,000 views. Like, so what I'm saying is like, you never know if you have a niche or you have something that people want to listen to. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what it is, And so I feel like people need to stop overthinking YouTube. Just do it. Just fucking do it before it costs money. Right now it's free.
Yeah.
I
filmed 1 episode for it, and I just never even uploaded it. It was all screwed. Sound was shitty, all kinds of bad stuff. So I just never even uploaded it. So I'd have to, and to the fact you got to get some gear, get some, something quality.
You don't need gear though. Here, Jerome, check it out. You just have your phone, bro. I do my vlogs off my iPhone. I don't have camera shit. I don't have any of that. Bro, that's the crazy thing. You want to know who put me on game to that too? Was Garrett Hartle. Garrett Hartle did his first 2 years on YouTube off his iPhone. And this is before iPhones were 1080p.
Yeah, what they are now. Yeah.
Right. They're fucking nuts now. Like Matthew, no offense. I love Matthew Summers, but Matthew Summers gets pissed off sometimes because he has a fucking sick ass Sony camera and like it looks just as crispy on my fucking iPhone. Even probably better sound quality. I love you, Matt. By the way, go subscribe. Matthew Summer Reptiles. He's killing it. That's my boy. But I'm saying is like, bro, like you don't need all that. Like you don't need to have 100 different fucking triple recessive snakes either. You just got to have a little bit of fucking style. Like just, do a little, spiff it up a little bit. But I don't know. Listen, I just feel like what it is that needs to be done, people just don't want to do it because they overthink it or they're lazy. Those are the 2 biggest things, Yeah. I know there's people out there who aren't lazy, but they're in here. They're like, oh, I just can't. I can't. Bro, you know me. I will never say the names, but there's people that I'm dying to have on this show, but they're like, I just can't. Like, I can't put my face out there. Like, bro, like, come on, just do it. And dude,
it took me a while before I would even do one, do a live or anything like that.
But this is why I understand how it's hard for some people just to do anything. Like, the biggest problem in this world are people believing in their own ability to do something. Some people are so scared to test themselves and see how good they could do because they're just like, no, I'd rather go work at Subway and fucking, $7 an hour sounds pretty good right now. No, dude, like you could probably make a lot more finding a craft you're good at. I got a buddy, bro. I got a buddy of mine. Check this out. And, I hope he doesn't hear this because this sounds pretty fucked up. But one of my coolest homies I've ever had to this day, he brought me into the rave scene. The rave fucking, what a weird fucking scene. Okay. But he brought me into that scene and he was like the man. Like, he made the candies. Like, this guy was so crafty at being a raver. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, you're made for this. You know what I'm saying? And that was I was me in his world. And I thought he was the biggest person on earth during that time. And right now, bro, he lays tile. Like, he's laying tile, even though he knows he can make all this arts and crafts shit where anything art and crafts, put it on an Instagram account, you'll blow up. Right. But he's like, he doesn't see that he's good at so many things that he's literally working with fucking illegal aliens, bro. Like, he's literally laying tiles with motherfuckers who come from TJ with no papers and are getting paid cash. And I'm like, God damn, bro. And he still DJs and does his thing, but it's like backbreaking. It's like, and I feel like some people just don't see or don't want to believe in themselves. And that's
that, or they don't want to take that leap, they're comfortable in what they're living in and they ride with it.
But they do, dude, God, man, that must suck, bro. Like, all I do is believe in my abilities. Because ever since I left the 9-to-5 and I worked for myself, I was always put on earth to work for myself. A lot of people don't know that, because my first job was sales. So I wrote my own paycheck. Everything I did was off my own production, and then I always thought, like, fuck, I need this, Verizon Wireless, but then when I saw management, I saw they're all fucking overweight, all single, all fucking depressed. I was like, I don't want that life. These fucking people have no families. They don't have nothing. And Jerome, every job I went to, no time for family, no time for nothing. And dude, I want a family someday, but I know how important money is too. Like, dude, especially where we're from, you need to make money, So there's people who have these cubicle gigs that they're stuck to. They have no other choice and it's barely getting them by. Bro, that could be me and it's not. Thank God. Thank fucking God. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, man. Like, I get pumped up because not a lot of people don't have to be miserable. Like, they don't have to be a miserable person every day. It's okay to be miserable, but have goals not to be miserable. You don't need to be miserable every day. You don't. That's what I'm saying, right?
That's that self-talk and that putting that positive vibe out, if you're just sitting there every day going, man, I got to go to work today. There's a meeting at 10. There's a meeting at 12. Oh, the boss is going to come talk to me, and you're just down about it the whole time. There's nothing positive ever is going to happen out of that.
All right, listen, hold on. We're 58 minutes deep. I had to double check something because there's no way in fucking hell does this kind of bullshit Gilligan activity happen on my podcast. I know there's not 83 people watching with 20 likes. I'm going to confirm this. So before I confirm this, you better be getting the likes up because now there's a system that tells me who's watching and who's not liking. I'm just kidding. That'd be sick though, huh?
Just start calling them out by down the list.
Look at that piece of shit. Look at that piece of shit. Oh, I would fucking love it. But hold on, let me refresh.
All right, now you can probably do it anyway. If there's 77 people or 80 people in here and 20 likes, you got a 1 in 4 chance that you're going to hit them.
Okay, first off, Troy, unbutton that fucking tie. Okay, there's 70 likes. There's 70 likes, 77 people watching. I'll take that. Thank you so much. But listen, if you're just now tapping in, we're just getting going. So can you get the likes up for the homie Jerome? I appreciate it. Okay. Jerome, one of the biggest topics about tonight's episode is being a new breeder and vending. Okay. Because dude, a lot of people like, Matthew Summers, he has his third, fourth clutch and he already bought acrylic fucking he's ready. Matthew Summers wants to do a show. Right. But is there a strategy you feel like what's your advice for anybody out there who is about ready to do a show, wants to do a show, but has no clue how to do a show? You've been around them. So what's some of your advice for that?
Reach out ask questions. Don't be shy. Don't act like you're going to offend anybody. Even if you just go to a show, you know, and you feel like you're going to vend, you know, hit up some people that you might know already, you know, just Instagram friends, even if you don't personally know them, just walk up and, you know, and just kind of talk to them and see what they've struggled with and what they've went through, you know, and what little things they could teach you and tell you and help you out with. I watched a few videos. There's a few videos out there on YouTube, different guys talking about, you know, what guys and gals, what to bring, what not to bring, you know, what to expect, that sort of thing. And then I had close friends, like I said, that I could definitely just hit up and be like, hey, you know, what would you suggest? You know, what to bring, what not to bring, you know, how do you do it? When do you stop feeding your animals, you know, before a show? Something a lot of people don't think about. You know, you're going to be taking your animals for a weekend trip, you know, and you don't want them, you know, necessarily shitting and pissing in the display. It's going to happen probably, but you know, there's a time frame. If you stop, they'll probably go before you take them. Right. And then there's that issue, you know, how young of a hatchling do you take? What style, you know? Do you take multiples of the same animal? You know, there's all kinds of little things that you have to really think about, you know, more so than just, I mean, you're going to need an extension cord, a
power strip,
you know, there you go. You know, a chair, bring a chair. Cause the ones they give you are shit.
No, hey, hold on, Jerome. I don't feel like your ass should be sitting down. Maybe if you have a partner, your wife is there, your lady, but bro, one of the things I can't stand is somebody who's not standing over their table ready to fucking talk to you.
No, I agree 100%.
You gotta be there. You gotta be engaged. I'm
gonna tell you at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's slow, and there ain't nobody walking by your shit. You're gonna sit down, you know, for a little bit. I would just lay down. Yeah, no, for sure. I would also say bring those anti-fatigue mats. People don't think about those. You know, bring those. That way, when you're standing in that same spot, you know, or same spots all day to go ahead and do that. But no, you have to be a salesman too. That's part of it. You have to believe in what you have. You have to believe in the prices that you set too. I mean, a lot of people walk into shows and they're trying to get your stuff at half price, you know, and oh, it's a show. You should be giving me a deal. Well, this is the price. You know, this is what it is. So. You have to set it and believe it where you set it.
I mean, listen, bro.
Being a salesman, I think, is the best thing, honestly. You know, and being ready to do it. You know, I mean, you're never going to be fully ready. It's like being a parent. You're never going to be fully ready to be a parent until you are one. You know, so you're never going to fully be ready to vend until you actually do it the first time. You know, luckily, I my first vending was on the side of someone else's booth. You know. Jimmy's booth, he had an extra side table. He had an end cap and he had the extra table. And he's like, hey, if you want it, it's yours. So I was like, sweet. So I got to, you know, feed off of him and realize little things, you know.
And here's the one thing I could tell you right off the bat about vending. If you don't like it, you'll know. Like, you'll know if you're not meant for it. And if you're not meant for it, you're not. You'll know right away. But when you are meant for it, you'll know that it's a family thing. Like it's a lifestyle. That reptile show, there's motherfuckers who are just there because they're professional fucking vendors. And professionals always show up. And that's why I always like my hat goes off to those people who are traveling, you know, like Troy, bro. Troy coming from all the way the fuck from Iowa. You know, Steve Morse. Same shit, travels, bro. You know, Bob Booth,
Josh and them, you know, they all travel.
Yeah, Josh, Jackie, fucking, you know, like, dude.
It's a week-long experience for these guys.
It's crazy, but like, you know, they got it down. Like, you know, and I'm sure they still go through losses, but they're obviously getting enough gain to where the losses aren't affecting it. Yeah. But they got it down, man. And I feel like, you know, don't cut yourself short. Definitely see if you're meant for it. Like, put yourself out there too, because you know, you can't expect people to gloat to you. Like, God damn, people just think like people are going to come glued to your table because you know, they know you're there. No, like, go fucking stand in front of your table. Go shake hands. Like, dude, motherfuckers aren't ready for me to sell at a show. Bro, you don't want to know where I first sold shit? in a goddamn mall. Dude, check this out. I was one of those fucking
kiosk?
mall kiosk. I was at the mall kiosk salesman, cell phones, right? 2005, Parkway Plaza, El Cajon. My first month as a salesman, I sold 85 activations, okay, which was nuts back in the day. And I would just fucking, because people tell me, like, dude, it's really hard doing this, you know, like they don't want to come to you. And I would literally pretend I knew people. I'd be like, hey, oh my God, how you been, dude? And they'd be like, me? Like, dude, yeah, hello. Didn't you go to El Cajon High? I did go to El Cajon High. Yeah, you had that class, you know, and like literally just fucking fuck with people's mind. And then like literally next thing you know, they're buying a phone and I'm like, oh my God, I thought you were that person. You weren't even that person.
You really weren't. Yeah.
Look at this. Look what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did you sell them the 4 extra lines with their original lines too?
I was pretty bad, bro. I'm not.
I have friends that did that. Yeah, they said they actually quit because they felt so bad about getting these kids into like contracts that were.
A lot of people know that there's karma I had to pay. Like oh my God, people know the surgeries I went through. The last 2 years I went through multiple surgeries. I was in a really fucking weird position. People were like, "Whoa, MJ, why are you in the hospital so much?" Karma, that's why. Okay, and I want to tell you, karma's a real thing. And I'm gonna tell you one of the worst horrible things I ever did. Someone's gonna fucking probably whatever. I'm not happy about this, but I was so gangster at this fucking cell phone fraud shit. Okay, I worked for this. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. Jerome, I love you. That's probably why I'm saying it. But I worked for this indirect company called the Mobile Solution. Okay. The Mobile Solution was the #1 indirect company in the world at that time. We sold T-Mobile, but then there was a time where we sold T-Mobile and we sold Singular, which is now AT&T, right? AT&T. But it was called Singular back in the day, right? So this isn't even the worst part, but what would happen was I would get somebody with terrible credit to get approved by something, right? And I would fucking like, you know, I had this thing called the instant insurance plan. This is so bad. Why am I saying this? Okay, but I would be like, sir, you qualify for, like, you don't qualify for a regular plan, even though they did. I was like, you qualify for an instant insurance plan. And they'd be like, whoa, what is that? And I would tell them, it's $70 a month. It comes with this many minutes, this many this many that, this many that. And they would say, okay, $70 a month. And I'll be like, hey, the phones are free. Back then they had free phones. So it was like, take the fucking free phones, right? So he's like, he's like, okay. He's like, how much for the phone? The phone's free. Okay, the phone's free. Yes, but you're going to take 4 phones. What? Why am I taking 4 phones? Well, because it's instant insurance. So in case... This is so bad. Why am I laughing? I was like, in case you lose this phone, sir, you instantly have another phone to use. He's like, well, what do I put him? Just put him in your closet.
Put him in your closet. Keep him plugged in.
Oh, this is so terrible. Listen, I paid my dues. I already got fucked for this, so whatever. But listen.
That was like the common scam back then.
That was my common. So basically 1 sale turned into 4 sales. And I tried doing that every time and it got bad. And you want to know the worst thing that I did, bro? And I'm not happy about this either, but you know, Parkway Plaza, they have a group of like adult special ed, like, you know, adult, you know what I'm saying? And dude, this one time a straggler, bro, like the group left them. I feel terrible. Oh,
bro, Timmy's still paying on that phone right now. Let me tell you that right now.
The group left the homie, and I was like, "Hey, come here!" And dude, oh my God, hold on. I did not max him out. I did not sell him 4 phones. I sold him 1 phone. Actually, I think it was
with hella accessories. Because that was the other big money.
Oh my God! I can't believe I just said this right now. This is crazy. This is terrible. I hope I don't lose any sales after this. What? I don't give a shit on it. I mean, I do care because, you know, listen, you aren't your past, and I'm just saying, like, I came in a grind.
That's how it was with everybody. That wasn't just you. I mean, that was everybody. That was every person. Because that's how they, like, not a lot of people knew either, you know. So they're like, oh, you can get 4 lines, sweet, I'll get 4 lines, you know. And then they figure out, why do I need 4 lines? You know, what am I doing with all this? And then you sell them, you know, a case and a clip and a charger, and that's another $75, and it costs you 10. Like,
it got so bad to where, like,
pocket.
It just got so bad to where, like, I would put the wrong the wrong address, so they wouldn't get the bill till after 30 days. So they would like, hey, I haven't got a bill. I would correct it. They'd get the bill and they'd see it, but it's after 30 days. You can't return it.
you're sold,
Oh
dude. It's
my
it's a
God.
guaranteed sell at that point.
But you know, because of that, like because of those damn shortcuts, which those are terrible shortcuts, but like you said, it was so common back in the day. It was like you weren't really a gangster unless you were doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And there was me and a few other motherfuckers, and it got worse. Trust me. Do you think that was the only hustle I knew? Oh
No.
my God, it opened the gates to so many different hustles, bro. It was fucking crazy. I was brought up really shady. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not proud of it, but this is why and it was only because I worked for somebody else. I always felt like whatever I was doing was never going to be enough for what I need. And that's because it's not easy working for somebody else. You're busting your ass, and what are you really getting out of it? That's why I was always in sales. I made more than my managers. Like my managers, like and that's why like I had the schedule I wanted. I did whatever the fuck I wanted because I was number one in sales. And when you're number one in sales, fuck, bro. Like everyone can hate you and you can still have your job. You know what I mean?
Same thing as bartending. You're the number one bartender. You're making more than the manager. You're making more than most anybody else in there. And if you're the top guy, then you set your own schedule. You work when you want. You do that kind of thing. So it helps. I can tell you right now in shows, I've gotten more people to buy snakes by having the mom that's scared of the snake hold the snake.
Yeah.
Just make her, because if she has the kid holding the snake, you can make her hold the snake. Because you're like, oh, your kid held it, and then that's how you get the sale right there.
But like, think about how powerful that could be just with the YouTube channel. Like just with a YouTube video, like, you have a mom who's freaked out over a snake and she sees her kid who's can't stop watching it. The mom's going to eventually, like you said, it's going to happen where she goes to a show and she gets a snake put in her hand, and that's the game changer. But that's what we need, more of that, bro. Like we need more shit to convince people that animals aren't the problem. We're the problem.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to get too deep on this, but us humans were brought up to think animals are stupid. Animals are not stupid. I think we misjudged that. I feel like humans wanted to gloat themselves more and made themselves feel like we're smarter than animals. I mean, I'm not here to say we're smarter than a fucking dog or something. I'm just saying animals aren't stupid, bro. Like animals are a lot smarter than the majority of this world think they are, and it's crazy to think. I don't know. But what I want to get to next, Jerome, is, we were talking earlier about triple quad recessives, which is, I don't know, it's pretty intense to think. You got people who've been in this game for a long time who are just now getting used to having a recessive or double recessive, but now we're talking triple and quads. Where do you fit at with this? I mean, are you trying to lean that triple quad route? Do you feel like just being in a double or single recessive is good enough? Where do you fit? Like, where do you fit in all this?
Right now, in my breeding projects, double hets are where, as far as I'm at right now. Down the line, is it going to be more? Yeah. It's going to be the triple and quads. You're going to have to, like everybody says. You're going to have to, but at the same time, there's room for just doing what you're doing if you're happy. There's people that are coming into the business that aren't necessarily going to drop, $12,000 on a snake. They're going to be able to drop 500, 600 on a snake. So if you're happy selling that, then be happy selling that. If I can sell 10 $500 snakes, it's the same as that one person selling that $5,000 snake. And the 4 shows I've vended, it's been a lot of $500 and under snakes. So it just depends on what kind of hustle you want to do. How much do you want to sell? How much do you really want to put into it? So.
And, I feel like if you're not that greedy and you're smart a little bit, you realize you don't need to have that much. Like you don't, like Justin Kabelka is somebody who I don't even think he knew he was going to be who he is. I don't think that. I feel like he is literally a Tiger Woods of this shit. Like he is Justin Kabelka, but nobody has to be Justin Kabelka or do what Justin Kabelka does. Like just because he's saying triple quad recessive is the future doesn't mean that needs to be happening for you right now. No, that doesn't. You could still easily kill it with double recessive shit. No fucking problem. Even single recessive. It's the quality. And bro, what's wrong with a $350 or $400, $500 snake? You make enough of them, that's gonna pay the bills.
Like, well, not just that, but you get guys that are coming new, like you said, the teenagers, they don't have $5,000, you know, they have 500. You know, you sell them a $500 snake, and guess what? In a couple years, you know, they may buy another one, and then they may be buying from you more exclusively than other people because you have what they want, you know. And just a couple people I've talked to, you know, and I've sold a couple snakes to, you know, they're waiting on some clutches to come out, you know, and they're excited, you know, but they've made that connection with me, and they were able to because I had something in their price range at that time. So I see it as being able to take care of people now and then be able to reach them in the future too.
I've definitely thought a lot about the future, especially lately, Jerome. You know, when things go on and things grow, period, and evolve, you have to start thinking about the future. It's very important, right? So one of the things I'm thinking about future-wise is the possibilities of me being at a show, like me, MJ, being at a show. Because at the end of the day, man, I hope, or you know what? I don't want to say I know, but I have a good feeling that I will have something I'm going to be very proud about, to where possibly not only am I going to want to show it off, but I'm going to have it for sale. Okay. But that means, and I'm ready for this, because the day I ever go to a show, a day I ever go vend and I bring my animals to a fucking show, after that show, whatever isn't sold goes to a fucking quarantine room away from everything. And that is my game plan for that. So what is the game plan that you do, or what is it that you feel like is realistically something that people could do to avoid taking their animals to a show, bringing them back to their collection, and then possibly infesting their collection with something with mites, Nido, you name it. There's fucking multiple things.
So my technique, as soon as I get home, I put all my snakes into tubs, a little bit of water in them. I let them rehydrate. I let them drink for, you know, a little bit, and then I throw some Dawn, drop a Dawn in there, shake it up, the old school way you treat any brand new snake that comes in. I have a big enough incubator that I just throw them in there overnight, let them soak overnight in there, and then I treat the ones. I treat any ones that come back for mites. And then my displays, I immediately, as soon as I pull all the snakes out, I put the no pest strips in, those whatchamacallit, those orange strips. I cut, you know, a little hole, cut them up into little squares, put them in a baggie, punch a few holes in the baggie, and just throw it in my display. So anything that might be sitting in my displays that might have been sitting in there, it's going to kill them. And then and then they all stay in their own rack. They don't go back into the snake room. I actually have a rack that sits out in my kitchen that all those snakes sit in. So if I know I'm going to try to sell it, that's where it's going. So, and I try to limit what animals are held too. I bring a few animals that when people are like, oh, I want to hold can I hold a snake? You know, I give them one of like 3 animals, and I bring a few. I mean, if they sell, they sell. But I bring a few that I can rotate them through so they're not super stressed out and whatnot either. So
when it comes to you vending at a show, Jerome, are you going there with an amount, like with a quota that you have to hit? Like, do you go relying that you make sales right now?
My main goal is to make what it costs me to get there, get there and come home, if it takes $1,000 to get to the show, pay for everything, pay for the hotel, the car rental, all that, you figure a couple dinners, $1,000 in the weekend, you're hoping that's what you get back. I've been lucky. I've made a lot more than that. Pomona was slow, and I barely eked out that same amount. So there's the reality of, my first few shows were bangers, and I made really good money. And then Pomona hit, and I barely made exactly what it cost me to go. So
I'm glad you brought this up, because I didn't make it to Pomona. I had some really terrible, obviously I recovered off of it, but I had some really terrible things pop off when I came home from my birthday that week, which kept me from going to Pomona. But I heard Pomona wasn't popping at all. I heard Pomona was Was pretty weak.
It was, so I heard it was one of the best ticket sales for as far as the Reptile Super Show, but just for like snake sales and whatnot, most people weren't doing real well. I know I didn't do, I was trying to cut deals just to make some money, but it just wasn't that great. But also, you think about it, was 13 miles away from Anaheim. And it was a month later than Anaheim. So everybody that went to Anaheim spent their money at Anaheim. And then you're barely a month later hoping to make, the same sales from basically the same population of people. It isn't like it's that much further away and you're getting this whole new group of people that haven't seen your collection and what you have. So that's why I'm hoping, I'm expecting big things in Vegas.
It scares me because I don't know what to expect, period, now.
Yeah, no, Vegas, I expect big things. You have a whole different clientele. Different states are closer. You can pull from different states. And it's just not going to be the same people that you saw, I think, at every other show. You go to all the NorCal shows, you see the same people walking around all the NorCal shows, You see the SoCal shows, it's the same. It's thousands of people, but it's the same group of people for the most part, walking around. You see them, because you're there for 2 days, for 12 hours, and you see the people walk by your booth, and you recognize them. So, it's, and like I said, a month away, like I'll do January, Pomona, and I'll do Anaheim. But if he does the month away, Pomona again, I won't do the second Pomona.
I don't know if you're at this one, but whoever was will back me up on this, especially Will Moros, because he was there. 2018 Pomona. Okay. Forrest Fanning. Fucking obviously, Miguel was there. Like this is when Miguel was in his prime with shows, okay? And I remember Will saying, like, this Pomona feels like better than Tinley, like this. And I remember how crazy Pomona was that fucking weekend. That Pomona was like, Tinley was still different. Don't get me wrong. But Pomona was like, I never thought Pomona would never be lame ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it goes to show you that there's really no telling on how a show will play out nowadays because
for sure.
Because not only that, how many shows there are, for one thing. Okay. It's like you said, people do go all in on certain shows. To by the next show, they're like, I'm tapped. I don't have anything right now. Like, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? But I would never expect Pomona to be the one to do worse than Anaheim.
But if you would have flipped Pomona and Anaheim, and you had Pomona first and then Anaheim, Pomona would have been banging, and then Anaheim would have been weak, and everybody would have been like, oh, it's because it's Anaheim, But it was just because of the timing of it, where it was just a month apart. And I get it. You got to do it. And you got to get your shows in, as a promoter. But it wasn't the best thing for the people, for the vendors, and it was just weird for me personally, because I didn't have, Antoine showed up for a little bit. He wasn't vending. Me and Andrew were vending together, so that was cool. That made the whole show.
Antoine showed up Sunday. He didn't even go Saturday. He showed up.
He was busy with fights. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once I knew Antoine wasn't going to be there, that's a huge wave.
Yeah, and then my buddy Todd Joel from Unbelievables, he wasn't there. Jimmy Cruz wasn't there.
Jimmy Cruz wasn't there.
Yeah, so there was a bunch of my people that I hang out with that just weren't there. Josh didn't show up. Troy wasn't there. And it was real close for them for other shows. So I understand why they didn't come out to the West Coast again. But I just think that one just needs to be fixed. That's a personal opinion.
So check this out, man. One of the things that really made me take back on what was happening at Animal Con. I feel like Animal Con is going to be a topic of conversation for a while. But like, let me create a situation for you, right? Like, let's say that a couple years goes by and you're getting a lot of morph market sales, right? And you're realizing that these morph market sales, they're coming from like influencers. Like they're coming from like, it's not like fucking goof something fucking reptiles or some shit from fucking Milwaukee. It's somebody who's influenced with YouTube. you know, and you start to pay attention to that. Even though you do YouTube yourself, would you still be interested on attending a reptile animal con type event that evolves what it is that you do? Or do you feel like because you don't do YouTube, you have no reason being there? Where do you see, like, where do you see? It's hard to predict the future, right? But like, how do you really see that right now, Jerome?
Like even for this one that first happened, I mean, if I had the ability to be there, I would have went. Why not?
Right.
You know, there's a lot of
Why
people
not?
in the industry that I would like to meet that I haven't met. You know, it's just why not do it? It's still reptile related. It's still part of our industry. You still have to support, you know, the people that are doing it, because that's what helps you get out. You know, this format is what helped me be able to get as popular as I have, knock on wood, as quick as I did, you know. So if this platform wasn't here and this wasn't here and nobody got to see my face, it's not the prettiest face, but nobody got to see my face. You know, nobody got to hear my story.
There's uglier. Trust me, please.
You know, I got a face for radio. It's cool. But you know what I'm saying? Like if this wasn't available and all the social media and all that wasn't available, you know, I would still have 40 snakes wondering what the hell I'm doing and trying to sell them to pet stores down the street for like $40, you know, trying to get store credit and stuff. So you have to support and you have to push the people that are doing this. You know, I'm a Patreon in yours. I'm a Patreon in Cusco's, you know, and I'm a Patreon.
Thank you, by the way, Jerome. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
You know, I do it though, so that way, you know, it may not be a lot of money, but it's what I can do to push that platform forward and to keep it going. So that way, you know, when I do get called on as a guest, you know, it is available, you know, and then people get to know me and get to see me and get to, you know, hear about what I'm doing or whatnot. You know, and I think everybody should be appreciative of that. Not knock it down because it's just, it's a bunch of podcasters and it's a bunch of people doing YouTube. You know, it's just them getting together. You know, it's part of the industry, and you know, and it may not be linked directly to breeding or linked directly to animal sales, but without it, you're not going to have it. So definitely, I mean, if I can go next year, there is a 2.0, you know, I'll definitely go, you know, so.
No, you will. Because, okay, the way I see it, and dude, I want to fucking, I mean, whatever, Antoine Hood. He gave such
him and his fuzzy grouping.
He gave such a dirty smirk. I had him on, you know, we just had Antoine on the show a month ago with Chris Eaton. And I brought up the idea of Antoine going to Animal Con. He was like, why'd you get that look for? He shitted all over it. Antoine would kill it at a place like Animal Con. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
his hand would get tired from signing autographs.
Antoine would never get tired of signing autographs. You know damn well that motherfucker will be there. He has extra pins in his pockets ready to go. But what I'm saying is, like, bro, like, this is all I got to do is sit back and laugh inside my head on whoever the fuck is trying to clown Animal Con right now. Because in the next 2 years, like the fact that I saw Bob Vu vending there, the fact that I saw Bob, like no animal sales at all, but he was like there showing off his animals. Motherfucker, everyone follows Bob Vu, okay? As far as like, you know, who the hell's trying to be what in this ball python game. And you think next year Bob Vu will be the only ball python guy showing shit? No. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And guess what? Bob Vu does have a Patreon page. So all his Patreon members will be there. I'm telling you right now, this shit is going to be fucking big. So stop clowning it. Stop fucking pushing. I'm glad you mentioned that.
It's something new. And some people I don't think people understood the situation of it either. You know, they just thought it was just. To be fair, yes. If you were a podcaster or you were a YouTuber, that it was just for you. It wasn't set as like a reptile industry thing, you know. To me, you know, like I said, it's without you guys, a lot of us wouldn't be here. So, you know, it's you have to support it.
I just think it's like you said, not a lot of people knew what to expect. And I feel, you know, with that being said, a lot of people are betting or wanting it to be a fucking big complete failure. And it wasn't. I'm telling you guys, get over it. It wasn't a failure. It was a fucking success. And your boy is not capping right now. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be something to where your favorite vendor will be at these places. I'm telling you, will be at Animal Con, okay? And Babu's one of them. Canova's next. Let's just say that.
That's what I was gonna say. I bet Justin's there next year. If
it's ready,
bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like if he wasn't there this year, he's gonna be there next year, or not. If not him, it'll be chasing them. You know, it'll be them helping him out, just going. But his animals will be there. They'll be showed off. And once you hear about that, and you got, I bet you Antoine's there in 2 years.
Antoine's there next year.
Antoine's there in 2 years showing off his snakes. I call it right now.
Oh, you're talking about vending? Yeah, probably.
No, just showing his snakes at the yeah.
I'm good. Okay, look, check this out. Record this, screen record this. I'm going to be on the slide with Antoine at Animal Con 2023. 2023. Antoine and me are going to be poolside chilling at Animal Con. I guarantee it.
Read his comment. Read his comment.
Go. I don't give a fuck what he says. What he says. I have since changed my. Thank you. There he goes. I told you. He's in the building. He's in the building, and he admits it. Antoine Hood will be at Animal Con 2023. It's gonna fucking be lit. I'm telling you right now. I've been wrong before. Antoine, dude, this is awesome. I love it. This is great right now. Oh my God. Okay. So I have to say overall, you I respect that you still have a 9-to-5, bro, because you obviously have to love what you do. All right. I mean, are you doing something that you're passionate about right now, Jerome?
No, I'm collecting a check. Yeah, no, for real. I got out of bartending. I knew the place I was bartending at was going to sell and close down. So I got out when I could. I actually got into sales. I work for a disaster restoration company. So if you have a flood or a fire, we come in and we take care of it.
Wow. How long have you been doing that for?
A year. So I got into sales. So I went in and you had to go talk to the different insurance agents and whatnot and get them to use your company over other companies and all that. Okay. And then COVID kind of started rearing its ugly head back up. And a lot of these agents were working from home. They weren't even going into their offices. So I didn't have anybody to go talk to. And then the opportunity to become the manager of the branch popped up. And I was like, well, the last sales guy got fired because of COVID. Not fired, but let go because of COVID because there was no reason to have a salesman. So I was like, I'll take the management job. So I managed the branch. Is it what I want to do? No. Is it a resume builder? Yeah. So I'm actually looking for some remote gigs because I am wanting to move out of California. So I wanted to have remote gigs so that way when I do move, I already have a job going and it's already set and there's not going to be any change of income and issues as far as moving and that sort of thing. So
hold on. You had how many clutches last year?
Last year I had 32.
Fuck. Okay. And this year, if it works out, how many?
Over 50.
Okay. So let's say everything works in your favor and you could sell what you need to sell out of those 50 fucking clutches. Are you making just as much as that, you feel like? Or what's the...
Oh, yeah, easily. I have a partner, too, though. So I have a partner. His name's Aaron.
Respect.
When this first started and I decided to go into a business and start a business, part of why there's two kings on that. I'll get into that in a second.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
So he had some income. I had a little bit of money. He had some money. Some people were a certain person was selling some adult females that were quality. And I knew if they were hets, they were real hets, that sort of thing. So we got in it together. And he was here anyway, helping me out. He was one of the friends that actually hung out and stayed around after my whole, not drinking anymore and stuff. So it's actually me and him that do No Limit Royals. His name's Aaron. I am Punchy. If you ever see him comment on anything, that's him. But the two kings on the logo are me and him instead of two aces or anything. It's two kings. So that's why we did the pair of kings on the logo.
Wow.
But for it to be a full-time thing, it needs to be enough where you know, it could support me, and then, you know, it can get him enough too to help him out. So it's more than just worrying about myself on that one.
Do you have anything ever in play, hopefully, to where you could buy him out and you don't have to like, or do you always want to have him be a partner?
I mean, he's like a brother, you know, and so if it's
like a family thing.
Yeah, you know, so if he wants to be out, you know, we could work it out. But even if I were to move, he would still be a part of it. He would still help out with the pairings. He would still help out with the thoughts. He just wouldn't be there to do the physical, you know, changing tubs, cleaning tubs, changing waters, that sort of thing. But he'll still be a part of it, you know, even if it's just, you know, say it's a smaller portion, but I'd always want to be a part of it just because he was there from the get-go. So
now let me ask you this, bro. I mean, do you feel like what's happening in your life is just meant to be because of the position you're in, or do you feel like other people out there should seek for a partner, or, you know, if they can get help? Like, I mean,
no, I think you should definitely run your own business by yourself. Coming from running a couple other, you know, things, having partners is tough. You're going to disagree. Sure. One person's going to put more effort in than the other person. Right. One person's going to feel entitled, whatever. If you can do it by yourself, 100% do it by yourself. You know, even if it's family, you know, family, they're the first ones, you know, to go behind you, you know, and slack off and whatever, because they're like, oh, that's, you know, that's my brother or whatever.
They don't give a shit.
So it's my advice is to do it by yourself if you can, 100%.
Right.
You know, I just got lucky that his time of being awake, he's up late nights. His wife goes to bed early. You know, his kids go to bed early, so he's able to come over 9 o'clock at night, and we knock out a few hours, you know, every day, and hit it hard. So it just happened to work out, you know. So
I have one person I've ever did a breeder loan project with, and the only reason why I did it, it's because it's Jacob Letterbetter, the big homie Jacob. That's my boy. Oh, yeah. He's like family to me, right? But before then, I just never. It's like you said, someone's gonna have to do someone's gonna have to do more work than the other person at some point, right? And then, and then there's chances that the other person who's doing the most work getting upset about something or not happy about it. There's a lot of things that could just go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, I didn't look out for Jacob to come. Like, I think, I don't know what it was. Me and Jacob started talking about what we had going on for the year. And he told me what Melville wasn't going to use, which could have been game changing for me. And like, he was cool enough to be like, here, yeah, let's just, you know, and then, you know, we obviously agreed, split down the middle, whatever happens. Right. But that worked out organically. Like, I didn't go fucking, it wasn't like
go looking out.
I didn't go hit up a bunch of different people. You know what I mean? I feel
posted on Instagram looking for a male.
Hey,
like,
God damn, fuck the breeder loans. There's people out there saying, hey, please go to my GoFundMe if you want me. I'm trying to be an inspired reptile breeder. I need money. People are ballsy, bro. But
hey, I did that. I'll tell you what, I did that. I did that. I hit this year. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you how I did it though. I gave you 20%. I gave you 20% back. As a business proposition. It's a signed contract.
Okay, well, hold on. Wait, hold on. Time out. This person said nothing about 20% back or anything. This motherfucker said, give me money so I can buy racks and steak.
Yeah, no.
Okay, first off, that's what this person said. But go ahead and continue, please.
Yeah, but no, mine was a proposition, a business proposition. You know, at first I was looking to buy a collection that was available. It was a great collection. Everybody, you know, knew the person. They were getting out. And they had a very solid collection for 30 grand. So I was trying to raise that 30 grand. And then that popped up and it ended up selling. But so I still ran with it. And I actually had more people out of the business than that were in the business that actually did finance me. So I did get financing this year. So that's where a lot of my money this year is going back, is paying off the financing.
Whoa. Dude, hold on. I'm impressed. But that can't be off. I mean, does that fuck with your sleep at night sometimes? Like, I mean, because now you're reliable of paying all these people back, which I don't need to get into the figure, but like, how are you dealing with that, knowing that you have that like on you? Like, You know, the shit
it's
has to
pressure.
go down.
I mean, it's just like any other loan or anything. You know, like I said, I've ran a couple other businesses, and it's if you have a bad week, you have a bad weekend. Like Pomona sucked. You know, you're expecting to sell X amount of animals, and you don't, and then you're like, man, that was a chunk of money that was going to go to, you know, pay back this loan. You know, and then so now you're like, okay, I got to really hit Vegas hard, and I got to hit, you know, I got to hope these other clutches hit, and you know. Every girl that isn't growing right now, you just look at her and you're like, man, could you just do something, please? So it does have stress, but I think it was worth it. I think it was worth being able to up my game for this season, for next season. You know, I was able to let me make some hets. I bought some clown girls. You know, that was basically what it was mainly for. I was buying some clowns, some pieds, and able to get my collection moving forward quicker. You know, and I thought it was worth the money, the chance, the risk.
How many people, excuse me, how many people out of everyone who financed you are like very like on it? Like what I mean by that, like maybe hits you up a lot or asks you a lot of questions. Are you dealing with anything like that? Or are they just kind of letting you just take over and like, all right. Like,
two people hit me up, but they hit me up more as a positive, like, hey, I hope the season's going well. You know, how's everything going? You know, it's not like, hey, the clock's ticking. You have till this date. You know, what's going on? It's more of they're interested. You know, they were people that aren't snake people, and they wanted to support a friend, and so they're interested in it. They've actually come over and checked out the the facility, and I say facility, it's a room in my house. You know, but come and check out the snake room and they've they've gotten into it. They've actually held snakes. Never held a snake before they decided to give me money to expand my company. You know, so it's been a positive. You know, I've had 1, 2, 3 people that are actually in the business, and they took the animal credit. So I was doing it as either animal credit or hard cash payback. So.
With the pressure of like obviously these people loaning money to you, has that made you want to take a step back to see what you could do better, either with note taking or like whatever? Like have you kind of upped your game at all since you've gotten this money, or like done something to make sure you're on top of your shit when it comes to the productions of these animals?
It's got me where I'm a little more focused. There'd be weeks where you're like, oh, I'll I'm tired. I had a catering event. I just worked my 9 to 5. I just worked 40 hours in 2 days. I don't want to, pair this week. I'm just tired. And then you pull your head out of your ass and you go do it. What's an extra, hour? You just work that much. 1 more hour ain't gonna kill you. So it just keeps you more focused. Definitely. But the pressure's on, like I said, every snake that's sitting at 10 millimeter follicles right now, I'm like, you should be at 25 plus. You're just looking at them like, what the hell what about you could I do different? That's what you're thinking of. What per each snake, what could I do different? So
there's definitely things that happen in this fucking game to where if this doesn't happen to you, I don't think you're meant to be in it. And I'm talking about 12-hour gigs, fucking burnt out, tired. You lay down and you forget to pair. Motherfucker, I better be dead if I can't pair shit. Because how excited am I? Like, bro, I'll never forget when I had the worst job on earth, like not even sales, general manager at Office Depot. Worst job I ever had, right? And I was so just not happy. I would get home, but then I would think, oh shit, I get to put these snakes together. If you can't get excited about what your future could hold, you shouldn't be in this shit. Like that should make your day turn around. If you could have the worst day on earth, and if you have shit to pair, that should make the day completely everything better. Yeah. And if it's not, A, your projects are fucked. B, you shouldn't even be in this game because why? Like, what? You shouldn't be breeding. Period. You should be very excited about what you have going on. Is what I'm saying.
I'll tell you, even when I'm burnt out, and and I still, like I said, you say, what's that extra hour? So you do pair. So that's, you may not be excited about it, but you know, it has to be done. When you wake up the next day and you're rested and you go open those tubs and there's locks, then that excitement definitely kicks in. You know, that's when you're definitely, you know, that tiredness kicks out and you're like, all right, that's what I want to see. You know, this is what we're doing it for. So I got out of the crested gecko and leopard gecko game real early.
God bless. I mean,
because I'll tell you what, doing everything I do and clean all the tubs and do everything, and then, you know, you sit there and you turn around and you look over at all these damn cages that need to be misted every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, and you have to feed every day, you know, the crested geckos, and it's just like
look at my one little, I don't want to, he's fucking gut full and full of crickets right now, but my fucking little Hank Hill country, my one little gecko. Somebody out there asked me if I'm into geckos. No, I'm not. This was a gift. I don't want to breed geckos. I mean, I will say it is really awesome. This is a lychee. He's gonna get really big. But no, dude, like, work with what you love, man.
Yeah, like I knew I wasn't gonna be passionate about it, so I got rid of them early. I had a bunch. I probably had 35 crested geckos, like 20 leopard geckos, like all the different enclosures for them and stuff. I just sold them off as one big collection. Just got rid of them.
Here's one thing, like Jerome, I've talked about this a lot, and I really feel like people, like, if you're good at breeding ball pythons to the point where it's your full-time gig, I feel like you should put yourself to the test. Work with another species if you love it, right?
Well, I have 2 other species I'm going to work with, so.
But some people, but what I'm trying to say is, like, some people will go from, like, you know, ball python being the hot one in the market, right? What's the next one? Gecko, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they do it only because it's a trend, and that's not the reason to do something. Like, you don't do something because it is popular, because if that's your only reason of doing it, it's going to show. And I know so many people, more than a handful, who didn't really hack into the ball python game, so got a bunch of geckos and thought they were going to make it in the gecko game. Still hasn't done shit. And it's like, do something that you feel passionate about, even if it's not popping, even if it's not something you love. And no, hold on. It has to be something you love, but
you have to be
even if it's not something majority love, like if it's not something that is sought after when it comes to purchases and shit like that, you work with shit that's going to drive you, like shit that's going to get
I'm going to breed.
Up.
Yeah, I'm going to breed African house snakes. You know, not everybody does that. You know, not even a lot of people are into those. So for me, it's something that's just cool. It's different. I like them. My partner hates them. They're real squirrely and flighty, and he's not a big fan of them.
They're small, and they have heads like Burmese pythons. They look fucking epic. That could be a huge future for this hobby because it's something manageable. Like it's
easily.
It's not something where, you know,
you don't have to have a big enclosure. You never will have to have a big enclosure,
right?
You know, so it's a great pet. Even if they do bite you, I mean, ball python bites don't hurt, but those little guys especially, like, you don't even know they bit you.
Some people need to get bit, bro. Like, at the end of the day, get bit. Like, you need to get like I can't stand how some people mold their life around comfort. Some people are so like, oh, I need to feel like the most luxurious of. No, dude, fuck that. You need to earn that shit. You need to get bit. Like, if you take your licks, you get bit, you respect something, man. It's kind of like how you ever meet somebody that needs to get their ass whooped? I know you have, for
plenty.
Sure.
Plenty.
I mean, have you gotten rocked before? I've gotten rocked before. And like, talk about being humbled, right? And some people out there had just never been humbled. And the reason why I love this reptile game, bro, is because no matter what it is your issue is, anger, bipolarness, learning how to be humble, this game will teach you all that shit. It heals it. It heals everything, because if you really love the animals, you're going to do right by the animals, but you also respect what happens with the animals. Just because you have a female $10,000 ball python, Jerome, does not mean it's going to breed for you, right?
True story.
But you're still going to give it fresh water, aren't you? You're still going to feed it, aren't you? Because it's a part of something you invest in. You love it. And that's how this game changes you as a person. You know? It's crazy.
Yep. That, and I'm gonna get into Angolans too.
Yeah, dude, I could have gotten into Angolans. I don't know how many years ago. I'm into a lot of things, you know, respect.
But say you have a lot. So,
but Angolans, goddamn, if you could get into Angolans, please do. You want to talk about a non-pussy version of a ball python? That's the Angolans. The Angolans is like the brute like the fucking like motherfucker ready to go to war. They don't care, and they look so amazing. There's definitely qualities of an Angolans too, like dude, Brett Bender. So if nobody follows herpetological field, wait, hold on, god damn it, let me look it up. I feel bad. But my boy, do you know who Brett Bender is? It's Fieldstone. Okay, here it is. I'm so sorry, Brett.
I follow him.
My boy Brett is my homie. Is like honestly like my Texas brother. Good homie of mine. Really works with a bunch of sick ass diverse stuff. But I think that's actually one right there. But my boy Brett Bender right here. Go give him a follow. Fieldstone Herpetoculture.
I've talked to him a few times.
Look at that. Nice ass clutch of Angolans. Raptor. I mean, this guy has produced Angolans, I think, 4 years in a row now. But I love the fact the way he has his setups. Like, he was the one to teach me how to turn a hide into a fucking perch hide. Like, he bolts, you know how a hide, like a typical reptile basic black hide, goes on the floor? Well, he bolts his upside down to the ceiling. You know, what happened, and all his go up there. Like, he has a bunch of fucking Angolans that love to live in the high ground. And it's just such a neat version of what a ball python is. I love ball pythons, get me wrong, right? But their Angolans is basically the most wild type version of a ball python there is.
Yeah, and if you've never felt an Angolan, it's a completely different feel because they're beaded.
Yep, they're like crazy. A Rusco. Yeah, it's awesome. So that being said, like, let's just say things move into a direction where you are able to focus more on the animals. What would you like to be known for other than ball pythons? Or would ball pythons just be chill enough for you? Is there anything else out there you really want to be known for and have a foundation species-wise? While you answer this, I'm going to take a piss. I can hear you.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm going to do the other two. The Angolans especially, I just think there's a great niche for Angolans that a lot of people enjoy them and they want to get into them and they're just maybe not sure how or they're not out there enough. So that, and then like I said, the Africans with the different colors though, not just like a regular black. I mean, I'll breed those too, but there's enough other variations of them that are visually exciting. And those, like I said, those little things are, they're more of a visual pet than a ball python that's going to sit in the corner of a tank all day. You know, the Africans will be out cruising around and checking stuff out. So I don't see myself veering too many directions, just because when I do something, I go all in and I'm 100% on it. So I don't like to go, like I said, I ended up having 35 crested geckos because I said I wanted to breed them one day. So I ended up with, a shit ton. And that's just how I do it. So I really have to hold myself back kind of as far as species and different species and everything, because I'll go nuts on each one, so.
All right. Well, Jerome, I have a wrap-up question for you before we get into some hot seat questions. And I mean, not that I have to tell you to keep it real, but go ahead and keep it real on this one, bro. What's the most common mistake you're seeing a lot of new breeders or new Instagram accounts, new anything into this reptile game are making? Like, what are some of the biggest? It could even be something you made, like something that you were like, fuck, if I were to come back into this, I wouldn't do it. But any mistakes out there you've seen being made, like anything you could call out and see or throw tips out for?
I mean, there's a shit ton.
Respectfully,
I mean, yeah, and it's no offense to the new person. It's just,
it's easy for it to happen. It's like there's so much fucking
buying all males. Buying all males. Right. That's a horrible idea. But following that stance that you can only buy females is a horrible stance too. I mean, watch McGill's videos, and every year he says, I need this male. I should have held this male back, and I sold him. Oh, I need a male. I need a male. Even one of the top guys in the business is sitting there saying, I need a male. So don't cut yourself short on males, but don't overdo it. I mean, there has to be a fine line. You have to have a backup that can be productive in several projects, is what I would suggest. It may not be your key project, but it'll at least be successful in more than one project. As far as like Instagram or any social media like that, just be honest, be real. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of what you have. Take it from me. You know, I didn't think what I had was worthwhile. And then I started putting pictures of it up and talking about it. And you know, and people were, you know, started following me and started talking about it. And, oh, you have this animal and you have that animal. And, oh man, that's a sweet ass animal. I wish I could have that one, you know? And you're like, whoa, like people would want what I have, you know? And so it's a humbling thing. Stay humble. Even when you do grow and even when you do get bigger, just stay humble. Like there's always that chase to be the best, but you can be humble about being the best. You know, you don't have to be a cocky asshole, and you don't have to knock other people down. If somebody doesn't make a mistake, you know, hit them up on the side. You know, I had a guy that made a mistake with me. He shipped me a supposed gravid female with 0 packing inside and the largest hand warmer he could find. And so when I hit him up about it on the side, I was like, hey, bro, like I had no packing in here, and then you shipped it with a hand warmer. Like not even like a normal heat pack for reptiles, any of that. And then he decided to go on a live and try to blast me about, you know, oh, I'm talking shit about him, whatever. And I'm like, bro,
who is this? I gotta know. Okay, who is it? Who is this?
He's the crazy idiot that fucking was trying to run for sheriff over in Arkansas.
Who
Who
the fuck is this?
Morph Seekers. Morph Seekers was his company name.
Real fucking.
But he was
real secret.
He was bad. But yeah, so he tried to blast me and shit. I just found it funny. I didn't really, you know, do nothing about it, but you know, it's just one. If somebody does come at you, take it with a grain of salt. You know, don't take
that. Dude, okay, can I elaborate on that one?
Go ahead.
If somebody comes at you and you know there's nothing wrong that you're doing, you fucking go head on with that motherfucker. Period. I mean, because listen, I know there's so many people out there that avoid conflict and they don't want it, but it's also your reputation on the line. It's also it's all because you know, I mean, motherfuckers love. There's so many people out there that love to talk because they know that other people don't love to talk. So they'll use that to their advantage, and that's a bad thing. At the end of the day, you need to learn when to speak up.
And those people will walk themselves out of the business too quickly. You know, I mean, you know it.
And they don't deserve it. But they just need to speak up. They need to fucking
mom's basement people. You know, it's like, fuck, grow up. You know, and if it is bad enough, I'm the type of guy. I'll show up on your doorstep. I don't care. You know, but it's
I mean,
you know, and it's one of those things. You know?
I'm very confrontational. I can't sleep at night unless I confront it. That's how I am.
Yeah, me and Matt from O'Malley's have had some conversations about, you know, just bad shit that's happened, and I'm like, bro, is he in California? Let me know. You know, we'll have a conversation.
Nobody will link with Matt or O'Malley because they don't want that conflict. Nobody will link with the homie Jerome because they don't want that conflict. Nobody will link with me because they don't want that conflict because they know it's not about responding with a keyboard. You fucking pussies. I cannot stand how, you know what? Here's another thing too. Like, there's people who are like, I do respect them because of what they've done, but all they do is type. All they do is type. Come on the fucking platform or go to a show and speak your mind. If you hate AnimalCon that much, go to AnimalCon next year and go speak on the Q&A panel and fucking elaborate a little bit. But they don't. They like to dwell in the basement. Ugly as shit.
Most of the time, anybody that's talking shit anyway is jealous of what you're doing.
That's all it is. I mean, honestly,
it's pure jealousy and it's pure, you know, it's they're wishing they were in your spot, but they don't want to put the effort in or the time in.
I mean, do I need to tell the story of Bob Smith? Bob Smith admitted, but you don't understand that Bob Smith admitted himself to being a Bob Smith. It was that official. Okay. So at the end of the day, if more than one buddy is fucking talking shit about you and you know deep down, I'm not doing anything wrong, that's a fucking good thing. These are people out there that wish they were you. They want to be you. They can't figure it out and they hate their lives. Haters make you famous, bro. What a saying that has been so true to this day. Haters will put you on the map. So let them fucking hate. That's their problem. I go to bed so good at night. I've always gone to bed good at night, knowing how many people hate my ass in this game. But now they're like, it's like, fuck you. Well, what are you going to do? You can't do nothing. I ain't going anywhere. Jerome ain't going nowhere. Like, we're here to fucking stay. And that's what I'm saying, man. When nobody could stop you, you're unstoppable. You literally, nobody could stop you. It's up to you. And I feel like so many people fucking just underestimate their power with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that shit.
You take that negative energy and you just push it forward. It makes you that much better. Like
that
dude, I mean, like I said, he went on his live. There was fucking 12 people watching on his live. It wasn't a big deal. So it wasn't even worth me getting into a bullshit keyboard battle with this Yahoo who ended up, like I said, it all came back in the end. This guy fucking was on the Capitol steps with a gun and shit trying to run for sheriff in fucking Arkansas. Weird. Like, it's crazy. I'll send you a link to the post later.
I'm okay. Honestly, I try to avoid because I think too much about how mentally fucked up this shit is. And at the end of the day, like, that's why I don't respect nobody in the fucking podcast game other than Chris Eaton, because he's the only one doing shit to evolve and stay relevant, even though he doesn't breed. He hates ball pythons, even though we know he loves them. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing things differently, and he's grinding. You have these other fucking yahoos who've been trying to do podcasts for over a year, and they can't fucking figure it out because they think they could just be lazy and fucking like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Same monotone,
same 8 questions to the same person every time. You already know the answers.
Yeah, and they rely on their fucking viewers for questions. Who the fuck podcast is looking for their viewers for the fucking questions? I don't turn down questions, especially if it's a super chat. Bring it on. I'm cool. But my whole game plan has nothing to do with the viewers' questions whatsoever, and I've called that out. There was a guy, literally, I'm not going to say his name because he's disappeared at this point, and I don't want nobody to go look him up, but goddamn, he had the most punchable face on earth. I just wanted to fucking punch his face. Didn't do nothing wrong to me, but when I saw his face, I wanted to punch the shit out of it. So what happened was he brings me on his show as the first guest, and all he tells me is how, dude, I don't want to make it about reptiles. I'm going to do things completely different. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Next thing you know, his next 4 guests were all the same people I just had on. And I'm hearing his questions, all reptile related. And it's like, what a fucking cop out. Like, and the guy, and it's funny, you see certain people that just aren't going to be around after a while because they're not bringing anything unique to the table. And once somebody's not bringing their own style or uniqueness to the table, they fucking fall off like fucking goddamn Humpty Dumpty. And guess where that fucking punchable face is at? Who knows?
Who knows? Who cares?
Morph Mixology is the name. I don't like you. Fuck you. There it is. That's the punchable face. Go look at his face right now. Morph Mixology.
Oh, I already know who it is. I already know who it is.
But listen, bro, I know I see you at shows. I don't know offense, but bro, you have the most punchable face on fucking earth. I'm so glad I said it. I feel better now. Woo! Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Andrew.
Andrew made it.
In the bucket. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah. Hey, what an end a show with a bang, Jerome. Hey, honestly, bro, awesome 2 hours. I don't do a lot of new breed on the blocks for 2 hours, but I'm glad I did. This felt like a straight Thursday night main event, and I appreciate this, Jerome. I'm looking forward to spending time with you and all the homies in Vegas. It's going to be an epic time, but guess what, motherfucker? You got hot seat questions. We ain't done yet.
Hey, let's do it.
Hot seat questions. Woo! For the homie no limit Royals. All right, bro. Listen, you know how these roll. I don't need an explanation. Let's just get these things off and going. You feel me?
Yep.
Here we go. Hot seat questions, no limit Royals. Frozen thought or live?
Live.
A cut or no cut?
Cut.
On what day?
Between 50 and 55.
Favorite favorite temp to incubate?
90.
Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post.
Yay imports or boo imports?
50-50. I know. Okay. You want one or the other.
No, listen, Jerome, this is the situation. Trump is president. He calls you. He's like, Jerome, I need you to say yes or no. What are you going to do? Or is it going to be a yes or no on the imports?
Yes.
Okay. If there was one reptile you could import to your collection, no matter what the species is, what would it be?
Komodo dragon.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. One reptile nobody should ever import ever. Leave it alone. Which one?
Oh, one that nobody should ever. I thought you were saying the Komodo was.
Komodo,
that's why I thought you were replying back to.
No. Now I'm on the other end of the spectrum. Yeah.
That's hard. I'm a semi-conservationist, so anything endangered, I think we should just leave it the fuck alone. Let it live in the wild where it should.
I need a name, bro. Give me something.
Fuck.
Sea turtles. Perfect.
There you go. Sea turtles. Galapagos Island tortoises.
That's a good one too. God bless. To mist or spray a ball python, or to not spray a ball python.
Don't.
What? Okay, we're not going to get into it. Okay, sports or no sports?
Sports.
Big flexor or no flexor?
I'm not a flexor.
Steak or fish?
Steak all day.
Favorite alcohol beverage you like to make of all time, like back in your prime, and what was the drink you like to make? What was your drink?
What I drank was straight Jameson.
But for a consumer,
just
like
to make 4 people.
Yeah, if I came to your thing, like make me something like your favorite drink, what would it be?
Kamikazes.
Oh, goddamn. Get fucked up. All right, steak or fish?
Steak.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
Sublime or Nirvana?
Ooh. Sublime with Bradley.
Well, I mean, so Sublime.
The original Sublime.
Yeah, I don't do. No, I'm not talking about Rome. Okay, fuck Rome.
Okay.
I'm talking OG Sublime.
Just making sure I was clarifying
there. Steak or fish?
Steak.
West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
West Coast all day.
Little word association. First thing to come to mind: FedEx shipping.
Needs improvement.
First time ball python breeder.
Interesting.
Milk.
Not for me.
Reptile Super Show.
I enjoy them.
Ultrasound.
Need one.
Stock shed.
Humidity.
Instagram trolls.
Worthless.
If you had to get rid of one codom in the ball
Facebook.
python.
Oh,
No.
I thought you were going to do the Instagram, Facebook one again. I was jumping ahead of you.
Whoa. If you had to get rid of one codom in the ball python game forever, and I mean forever, never coming back, what codom would that be?
Pastel.
And that's how we do it. The hot seat questions wrapped up. Hey, listen, Jerome, I want to say thank you so much for this 2 hours.
Thanks for having me.
In the book, had a great time. We had over 90 people at one point tapping into this episode. Let's see what the likes are like. I'm at 90 likes. What the fuck? That's what I'm talking about. 100% view to like ratio.
Good job, guys. Good job, gals and guys.
What do you have to say to everyone out there fucking with you, bro? Everyone who's ready to see you at Las Vegas, all your supporters, what do you have to say to them?
Just want to say thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody I've met, either in person or just have met on like IG or anything like that. We need to meet if we haven't. Don't be scared to come up and say hi. Definitely tell me who you are. I've had some people come up and say hi at shows, and I'm like, yeah, what's up, bro? Like, just mention your name, mention who you are, mention your IG name, whatever it is. I want to shout out, my brothers, Antoine and Andrew especially. I want to say what's up to Troy and Jacob. I'll be seeing you guys this weekend. Let's kill it. Let's make sure everybody is at our booth and screw everybody else.
Okay, so check it out. I'm going to do one for you guys, even though it's like, okay, not that you need this, but I'm going to do it anyways. MJ's going live at the Reptile show with obviously my new sponsor. Shout out to Redline Shipping. But you know what? We're going to do it live at your guys' booth. That's where it's going to go down. Okay,
Let's
so
do it.
you can catch me at their booth fucking Friday.
Make it
6
happen.
o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm gonna have so much weed. Wait, hold on. No, I'm not. We're in Vegas. No, we're not. Never
It's
mind.
legal. It's legal.
Is it legal or illegal?
Yeah, legal.
Oh, it is legal.
They have
Hold
the
on.
biggest. They have the
I
biggest
forgot. Yeah, that's-
dispensary
no, wait, I take
ever.
it back. I forgot. I'm so old school Vegas. I like where everything's
Oh yeah, Nevada used to be a joint. You're going to jail for like 10 years.
Yeah, dude, holy shit. Everything's legal. Yes, I'm gonna have so much weed. We're gonna get so high. It's going down. And Jerome, I hope you have a fucking great show. I hope everyone has a good show, but
Thank you.
than I want you to have a good show. I hope you sell the fuck out. Hope all the homies sell out. And I gotta say, I cannot wait to have you back on this show for another round 2. But guys, it's a wrap. No Limit Royals. Jerome, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good one, y'all.
Hey, bro, thank you so much. Have a good night, and I'll see you Friday, motherfucker.
For sure. Alrighty.
All right, peace out. Woo! Damn, what happened? What a good time. I had a great time. Thank you so much. If you happen to tap in late to this podcast, forgot to hit the like button, even though we have 90, hit that like button. Let's get, we can do more. Jerome killed it. That was an epic episode. It's been a while since I had a 2-hour new breed on the block, but I felt good. It's good to talk to Jerome. Jerome's a good motherfucker, and future's bright for him. I just because he's things are lining up for him. And I feel like it's hard to have people invest in you and things work out. It's not easy to do. Not that nobody should do it, but if things happen organically, maybe take on that venture. I don't know, but I'm very excited for Jerome. I'm excited for the whole crew, for fucking Jerome. Jerome, Jacob, Antoine Hood, Andrew, got Troy. Who else out there from the Vegas? Who else is going to Vegas Super Show? I want to know. You going to Vegas Super Show? Drop a comment. Let me know. But I will be there, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, like I said, Robin Markland of Redline Shipping. It's going to go down in person, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. What is it like starting a fucking reptile shipping company? How stressful is that? Why is Robin Markland starting a reptile shipping company with all this other competition? Reptiles to you, ship your reptiles. Oh my God. If you don't know the history of this man, if you don't know what this guy has started and what his legacy is in this fucking game, you better tap in Friday because I'm going to let you know. Shout out to the sponsor, Red Light Shipping. I got to say shout out also to the sponsor, Alan, over at Amazing Basins. Appreciate the fucking swag. My shirt, I love it. My calendar, love it. My poster, love it. Go give him a follow on Instagram. My viewers, love it. Thank you so much out there for spending your time with me. You guys are a part of my life. It's crazy. This is my life. And if you're out there who always comes back and watches me do this, thank you. Because I take this shit so serious, and honestly, it makes me happy. This is something that brings me so much joy. So for you to be a part of this, I want to say thank you so much. My Patreon members, thank you so much. If you are looking for exclusive content, if you want more MJ for whatever reason, I'm a lot to deal with. But if you want more MJ, if you want to get more tapped into the trappers, the people who support MJ, the family, if you want to get into the Discord, go down to the link below, join Trap Talk Patreon family, and get tapped in, okay? Because not only am I putting exclusive content out, but I'm doing more, okay? I'm going to be bringing a lot of newness to this channel in the near future. I'm talking very near future, okay? So be a part of that Patreon family now if you can. And my Patreon members, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. It is going down this Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're ready. Robin Markland, Reptile Super Show, Las Vegas, first time ever. Thank you so much, Jerome. I appreciate you, man. I had a really good show. I really did. And I'll talk to you guys soon, man. Have a good night. It's your boy MJ checking out, and I'll catch you Friday. Cheers!